Yesterday I mentioned the northern mythology, about this picture of the twofoldness and this gap in between, and then these two beings that were appearing, this giant, which is all connected with the nervous system, with the 12 cranial nerves, and from that this nervous system was formed, so everything that has to do with the organs that are connected with the thinking. And then this other being, this cow, Audumla she was called, and she has these 4 streams of milk, and the giant feeds himself with this milk, and she also represents the metabolic system. So this twofoldness. And this cow licks the ice of Niflheim, and there come 2 giants, a male and a female giant, and they get 3 children. That's an image of the twofoldness and the threefoldness. The threefoldness is born out of the twofoldness. So we always have this polarity, and actually in the first 7 years, this threefoldness is there, of course, because it's an archetype of how the forces of the soul work. But actually you have to work with, we are dealing in the first 7 years with polarity. It's the polarity, the nerve system, and the blood. Blood and nerve. The doctors work with that as well. Blood and nerve. Every nerve is accompanied with a blood vessel. In the senses, when we speak of the sense organs, normally what we find in outer science, they are all perceiving outside information. But the aspect of the will in the senses, that we want to go outside and connect from inside, to connect our soul with the outside world, that's a will activity. As if there are hands going out of our eyes to want to grasp what is there visible. Even hands go out of our ear, maybe this way, to listen in. And these hands are really there. And as adult or as a teacher, you can see they're growing sometimes when children are listening. I gave you this example. It's true, you can see it. So, but that is will activity, and that's in the blood vessel. And even the retina is accompanied by blood. It's a choroid, I think it's called in English. So you have always these two. And the light that comes into the eye is coming on the retina, and that is transported through the nerve, through the brain. But the blood is affected by the light as well. It's distorted by the light. And it's depending on what color it is you're looking at, or the intensity of light, how much this disturbance is. And it needs to be restored. And that's the reason why when you look at red, it can be healthy, because the oxygen inside your body is transported into the eye to restore the damage. And that's not the same with blue. So you have always this polarity. And in the first 7 years, this two polarity works in the vertical. So the nervous system, the antipathy forces, they give form. And they work from the head down. Through the nervous system. Gradually incarnating step by step. The will forces come from below and work up. And there you have these two pictures. When you look at, for instance, what children draw, what they show in their drawings, at about the age of 3, they start drawing these heads with arms out of the head and feet, legs also out of the head, as if that part of the head is finished. So first the head is mature, let's say that, more or less mature. And then the incarnation process proceeds and connects with the middle system, and then they start drawing this middle system, and you see these trees which are all in symmetry and so forth. They're really drawing the midline where these 12 streams come, these 12 cranial nerves, and from that, like this frozen mist, the whole system here in the middle, all these little nerves are created like in the northern mythology. And the children draw it when they're ready. When something is ready, they can draw it. There's always a projection of something that is already done. So there you see that middle system. And then at the end, this incarnation process goes into the limbs, into the feet. And then when they have really arrived there, they are able to draw it. So when there's missing, it shows us that somewhere in this incarnation process, from top to bottom, from head to toes, as the verse is, from head to toes I'm an image of God. Is it something like that? Yeah. That is this stream. The stream from Niflheim, which is in our head, through the nervous system, that's all antipathy. And when this is ready, bodily ready, these forces can free themselves. They do it gradually, step by step, and they become forces of consciousness, of the ability to think. Antipathy forces work bodily first, and then start working on a mental level, let's say it that way. It gives you the ability to think and to get memory. So there's this incarnation path from the head to the toes, this way, from above to below. But pedagogically, it's the other way around, when you work with a will. The small baby, when it can sit or whatever, it starts using its feet. So that is where it all starts, down below. And then gradually it comes up. And then when they can manage this, they can stand up. And then the arms can rise up. And then the next stage comes. It starts in the feet, in the limbs and the arms. Now, I can't do it with 4, but you can imagine, right? I need my anchor somewhere in the physical. So, and then it comes up, and then at the end of the 7th year, then they arrive in the head. And then the will forces are able to come and to connect with this capacity in the head of the thinking. That's the other way around. There are 2 ways of incarnation, from below up and from the head down. It's always these 2. So it's the Niflheim path and the Muspelheim path. You see it, Muspelheim, from the metabolic up to above, the sympathy through the blood and the metabolic system. It's the will. So there we have this 2. And this polarity, which is at work in the body in the first 7 years, in the vertical, really like going down or coming up. These 2 forces, when they have finished their bodily work, they become free, and start working on a mental level, or let's say a soul level. And then it's no longer in the vertical, but from that point on, it starts working in the social realm, which is in the horizontal. It's really, like I said yesterday, I draw it once more, the North Pole and the South Pole, that brings us into space. But when you get into the horizontal, it's another element. It is between west and east. That's the horizontal. That's time. And now you have children, when you ask them to draw a blue moon and a red sun, there are children that do it on top of one another. A blue moon up top, in the middle, often in the middle, on the midline, a blue moon and a red sun below. It shows you that's a young sign, because there the forces are still working in the horizontal, in the vertical. But after the change of teeth, when these forces are freed from their bodily work, it starts working in the horizontal, between past and future. Past and future, excuse me. So that is on another layer. Again, the same principle as we had here, but it's on a different layer.